think that's one right here.
Right here. And who would that individual be?
I don't know. I don't know the family. I mean, I've heard the family name, but I don't know if they're related or not.
Okay.
But young guys,
Oh, was that one of the war heroes?
Huh?
Was that one of the war heroes?
Well, I don't know how it war here, but it probably died during the invasion,
Okay. Well, passed away in 1945.
And that white marble is another one,
Theo, I wanted to ask you, in reference to the Solis legacy, what would you say it is, in your opinion, that young people can learn from in terms of this really defines who we are, who we have been over the years?
Well, number one would be honesty, work hard, and do the best you can. And that's the last one.
Jose Garcia.
You see? Yeah. He was born 1990. He was 25 years old.
Oh, Lord. What a sacrifice for our country, huh?
Yeah.
Did not have a chance to live a full life. God bless.
Exactly, And when we visited the Vietnam War Memorial in Washington, I couldn't stop crying. I mean, I'm crying out loud because so many, 50-some thousand died, young men. We all had dreams. We all had the same dreams,
Yeah.
Some were married, some were not. I mean, I thought of the parents, I thought of the mother and father when they were notified that their children had been killed, What a horrible experience,
Indeed.
And I just couldn't help myself. It was so sad. And there was a couple of, one of them was a friend of your dad. His name was Arturo Sanchez. And I remember when I was in the Central School, the first grade, I was 6 years old. And they sent me to his teacher, and I really liked it. And then they said, "Oh, no, we have to move you." So I said, "No, you're not going to move me." And I started screaming, and this guy, Arturo, picked me up and put me on his shoulder and carried me to the other classroom. And I never forgot that. And he died in Vietnam.
Oh, God bless. What did Mike Solis' grandparents say about your siblings joining the military? This would be
well, it was for them, your dad and your Tio Pancho were the ones that helped my parents, and the other younger ones survived, I don't know how much they sent them, but they didn't send them much, but it was more than what they had,
Right.
And so it was their contribution to the family, to us,
Yeah.
That we never lacked. We always had the necessities of life, thanks to them, And in Christmas, they were the ones that would give us Christmas gifts,
Because
I'll show you the route that we used to come by bus, and I'll show you where we took the bus. And then bring us to the junior high. Your dad, of course, was 1 year ahead of me.
So this area that we're visiting in Laredo, is there a name for this? Like, in San Antonio you have Alamo Heights. Is there a name for this region?
This is the Heights, what they call the Heights.
Okay.
And of course, there's nice homes here. Families lived here for a long time. And take us to our junior high.
Oh, fascinating.
And the sheriff used to live here, and we used to, there's sheriff's house there. And some of these houses weren't here, like that house wasn't here. But these places have been here for a long time.
So once again, Theo, this path would have been used by you and my father for?
Now this would take us to the Lamar Junior High, where we were both students.
Excellent.
And we take the bus, and there are a couple of, I'll show you where we used to take the bus, and this is the route the bus would take.
Well, there sure are some fancy homes out here that have been developed.
Yeah, and most of these homes have been here for a long time. Some are new, but most of them are.
It's always incredible when I tell people that Laredo was once a foreign country in the Republic of Laredo.
Well, yeah.
It didn't last very long.
No. The Republic of Rio Grande, I forget what it's called.
There's such a unique culture here in Laredo where people are from Laredo. Either I think there's a subtle accent that people have here, but there's also a mindset that is you're part of our tribe or you're not. And I felt it when I moved here with my parents. And I could always feel like I was not a Laredo guy. Even though I was connected to Laredo, I never felt that connection because either you're in the club or not.
I never really felt that, but I always felt that I was born and raised here, and I knew a bunch of people,
Mm-hmm.
And I never forgot where it came from.
So, for context purposes, the year that
this used to be the Lamar Junior High, it changed a lot, but.
So, Theo, what year would it have been that you and my father would have been walking down the streets to Lamar?
Oh. 19. That's part of the old building there.
Well, so much history here.
Oh, yeah.
So much history. And Laredo continues to reinvent itself year after year after year. I remember the early days of the 80s when you had the beginning of the truckers going back and forth, and now you see these massive facilities.
You see the name of it? Mayor will be Lamar.
Oh, Alice.
Mayor will be Lamar. I wrote a letter to the superintendent, a few weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago, and asked her to rename some of these schools, the people that we know, people that have contributed to the community.
Yeah. Makes sense?
She never responded.
Never responded, huh? Well, that was the response. Yeah, I have to tell my mother. She'll say, this person didn't respond. I sent X, Y, and Z. I said, they did respond. That was the response. And she's like, oh, I guess so.
Completely different than it used to look like before, It was all modern buildings, kind of old looking, but modern.
Man, oh man. I've heard of Lamar for so many years. I finally saw the school.
Yeah.
Finally saw the school. There it is.
Yeah.
So leaving school, did you take another path, or was it the same path going back? Is it the same bus, different bus?
Well, so I had I don't remember your dad, I'm sure he took the bus, but I had a wealthy friend from Laredo who used to have a 1958 Chevy convertible. And I was really short at the time, and they used to call me Shorty. Hey, Shorty, you want to ride? Yeah. Hop in. And he would drop me off 2 blocks from the house on Matamoros Street. And because I think we only enjoyed 1 year together here at the school, or 2 years maybe. It was 1 year ahead.
Mrs. Lupita Castañeda said yesterday that girls were always wanting your attention, chasing you, and so forth. So what was it? Was it your style? Was it your look? Was it your vibe?
I don't know.
She said, I remember. Those girls loved him.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I still talk to my first girlfriend.
Fascinating.
And she's been married and divorced, and so have I, but I've been married again.
Yeah.
And we have nothing going on romantically, but we're just friends, you know. I used to spend my time there, you know, all the time. They used to live over here by Nixon High School, and she had 4 sisters. So to the sisters, they were little, we grew up. And the smallest one was like 3 years old when I was dating the mother, the sister. Mm-hmm. And they all saw me like the big brother, you know, they never had. And so I was part of the family. And her parents loved me too. I mean, parents, father. And then, you know, as time goes by, I was a poor kid from the Azteca neighborhood, and then I became a banker, and I was on the board of directors of the bank, and you could tell that her father was really proud of me, you know.
What a great story. What a great story. Those humble beginnings, I feel that for so many of the Solis siblings, that grounded all of you, where there was not this chocante mentality, even though many of the brothers could have been arrogant and aloof, but they were so grounded.
No. Well, because, you know, we knew where we came from, you know. And who was I going to fool, you know?
Right.
And I remember this guy used to live close to Azteca Theater, and for some reason he kind of jealous, I guess, of your dad and I. That's where Rene Solis used to live, and I'm proud of it. I'm not embarrassed. I mean, and he would do it to kind of shame me or whatever. He didn't shame me at all, you know. I mean, you can't hide where you came from.
That's a badge of honor to rise from very, very, very humble beginnings where food scarcity was an issue.
Exactly.
How do you think young people should learn these lessons? We're clearly, obviously, documenting our Solis heritage, but what is the value of young people learning this, and how do you believe it'll help them, and what can we do as parents and potential grandparents down the road to teach these lessons to these kids?
Well, you know, when we grew up with basically nothing, right? Very, very, very basic, and but we never lacked the important things. We just food on the table and clean clothes and a clean house and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes, you know, people forget that you have to work. And we learn that we have to work at a very early age. And you learn how to work, you will always be successful, you know, no matter what you do. And we all became successful, you know, in many ways. Not only... Let me see here. This bridge obviously wasn't here before.
So, would Guadalupe parallel Matamoros Street? So this is Guadalupe, and Matamoros is that side, right? Or what was that?
Right. Yeah, well, you know, this bridge wasn't here before, but I'll show you a bit.
I've never seen this bridge before. I remember the creek that's right under here.
Yeah.
And Mercy Hospital is right back there. Is
The
it?
old Mercy Hospital.
Oh, what is that building now?
Empty.
Empty. Oh, fascinating. Yeah, my father worked at Mercy Hospital for, was it about 10 years?
Yeah, when they were building the new hospital.
It's incredible to think he was in charge of all the engineering issues.
I want to show you this bridge. I mean, it's still standing, but during the flood, you know, the water was up almost all the way to the floor, you know. And your dad and I came in, and your grandma said, "No se arriben al puente." No, Mama. That's the first thing we did. And we just stood there watching, you know, horses go by, cows go by, and all dead, you know. Houses go by.
Staggering.
And then, you know, obviously our house also was covered.
So that year would have been 1951, 52?
1954.
1954. What a memory you have about all of this good stuff. Even though Laredo's changed, you can see old Laredo everywhere you turn.
Yeah.
The old signs, the old buildings, so much history. So in terms of getting around town during those years in the early 50s, did you have bicycles or was it you were on your feet?
On your feet.
Wow. That's old school.
Old school.
Was there one family member or sibling who was very athletic in terms of, oh, this person was a great runner? Because I don't remember basketball players or football players among the Solis crowd, unless I'm wrong.
No, you know, we didn't have time for sports.
I love that.
I really didn't, you know.
You were too busy surviving.
Too busy surviving. That's right.
What a concept. What a concept. So we lived on Matamoros Street and...
No, we lived on Farragut. This is Matamoros.
Okay. Now I'm referring to my mother, my father, and my...
okay.
Yes,
okay, that's right.
Yeah.
When you all came down here, yeah.
Correct. So, Thea, where are we right now?
This is San Leonardo.
Some of these houses look like they're out of New Mexico, like Pueblo style.
This is the house where that little child fell into the toilet here.
Oh, man.
And the guy used to live across the street over there. And a lady used to live here. She married a guy from the base, and I used to run errands for her.
Now, this is a really narrow street, huh? Good
Yeah,
Lord. Don't playing around here.
Yeah.
Look at that house. That must be from the 20s. Or the 30s.
Oh.
Or earlier, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I came the wrong way, but this is where we lived right now.
Wow. Look at that. Let me this window. So, Theo, this right here is the original Solis household here in Laredo, Texas?
Yeah, well, I'm going to show you where we were born.
So you lived here for how many years?
All our lives, you know, growing up.
Staggering. That is magnificent. Just magnificent. I love that.
Your Ramon, Kike Ramon. and his family used to live here.
Oh, now I understand the map he was showing us. So this was the river that flooded. So this is where Mr. Ramon and his family lived.
Mira, and this is the house where we all were born. Right here.
This specific one?
Yeah.
Outstanding. Look at that. So
one bedroom. Okay. One giant bed, and I don't recall the sleeping arrangements. When we moved out, I was 5 years old, so I don't remember too much.
Incredible. If you don't mind, I'm just going to get down real quick. I want to see if I can get a little bit more footage.
Yeah.
This is magnificent. Oh, it's amazing. All that water filled that whole thing up. That's mind-boggling. That's a magnificent piece of history, Theo. Thank you for showing that to me.
Yeah.
Super. What was this neighborhood like in terms of, now I wanted to point out, I saw some oranges on the side of your house. Did you all have active orange trees during that time frame?
They were not the edible type of oranges. They were, I don't know what they call them, wild oranges.
Oh. So they would grow, but you couldn't eat them because they were wild?
Well, you could eat them if you wanted to, but they didn't taste very good.
Ah, got it.
And there was an old house here at the corner, and it used to be, they say it used to be spooked.
Fascinating.
It's still right here. Obviously torn down ever since.
So this house, Theo, a total of how many family members were in that specific house at one point? Was what number? Give me a number for context purposes.
5.
5. Wow.
I mean, this is the house where the gentleman used to live. Who came to Borify right here.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
And Grandpa Solis gave him $10 and said, "I'm giving it to you. It's not a loan."
And lady here used to have a little grocery store. We used to buy sodas here.
Is that so? This is old school.
Yeah.
Old school.
And our friend Meme Arreola, his grandparents lived here, but this house is much renovated, obviously.
Yeah.
But the house looks so bad.
Mm.
When we had it, we had grass. We were the only and only house in the neighborhood that had grass, lawn, which your father and I cut. And it was all painted white, and the fence was white. It was a wood fence. It was all white.
Super.
It looked much bigger before.
Yeah. Any other notable people come out of this neighborhood in terms of, oh, this person was an entertainer or this person was a politician?
Actually, the people that lived here. Yeah, this is where the little girl fell into the toilet here. The toilet was right around here.
That's
around here.
incredible.
And the gentleman that came lived here. This house here.
So that act of bravery, pushing over that structure, saved that little kid's life.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, were there groups of neighborhood kids in this area that would get together with the Solis?
Oh, yeah. Meme Arriola, who at one time lived here, this house here, but it wasn't this nice, back then. But both his parents worked, and he went to school at San Agustin, which was a private Catholic school. And he had all kinds of toys, footballs, basketballs, gloves, you name it. And he would share it with all of the bicycles. And he would share it with all the neighbors, So it was very nice. I mean, he was very generous. And his mother was too. His parents were too. They used to take your dad and I to the baseball games across the river. The father, and then he had this bar that he used to go to after the baseball games. So he would sit us at a table and we'd have all the Cokes we wanted.
That must have been a great moment, like unlimited free Cokes. Wow.
Yeah.
Were you all just chugging away?
Oh, absolutely.
I understand that my grandfather Solis, when the Mexican national anthem would play, he would get teary-eyed and emotional.
Yeah.
What was his connection to Mexico in terms of like his corazon connection, and what was his connection to the U.S. in terms of these two countries?
Like I told you, he was brought over here when he was 5 years old. But of course, Mexico was his weakness. He felt this love for Mexico that we didn't really share because we didn't live in Mexico. We were never born in Mexico, but we could understand why.
Was he a good singer, or did he like to sing?
He was a good singer. Oh, this is the Aurelius food shop.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
And there's another one in the north. On McPherson.
So Aurelio Boat Shop on Houston Street. Good. Now, I remember walking down, it wasn't this street, I think it was in Matamoros. So this is where...
Jan used to live around here.
Yeah, to the left of this specific corner.
Exactly.
And we would walk, my mother and I, and that's right, that yellow house right over there. I took pictures of it.
Yeah. And the school the elementary school was right here.
Okay.
Before they knocked it down and created a back building.
It is amazing to think that when we lived on Matamoros Street, we were literally blocks away from my father's original homes, and I don't recall ever being taken over there or being shown those homes. We were so close.
I know, yeah.
And here at the age of 55, I'm finally finding these family treasures, which is great. Thinking I can absolutely appreciate it so much more now.
This is where we used to walk to go help my father with the grocery bags.
By La Frontera, right?
Yeah.
So
there by the La Posada Hotel, which didn't exist. I mean, there was an old high school there.
It's incredible to think that's the physical border right there.
Huh? Yeah.
So you would meet my grandfather right at this entrance, and then...
No, I'll show you.
Okay. So Theo, which used to work at the bank this location, or which location did you work
No,
at?
well, actually, it was. You see that hotel? There used to be a hotel.
Okay.
My office was there.
Ah, got
I
it.
had bank offices there.
It sure looks like the Frontera's calmed down from
Oh yeah.
news reports that I've seen.
Well, because now the entry to Laredo is further west.
Oh, got it. God, this is old Laredo. Look at that.
This is old Laredo.
Where it all started.
Exactly.
What about your female siblings, Tia Beba and Tia Lucy? Would they hang out with you as kids, or did they have their own little clique of girls?
They had their own little clique, but they used to take us with them.
Oh man, I have not seen this in decades.
This is where we used to wait for our dad.
Oh really?
Actually, a little further up. Right there, it's closed now, but there used to be an entrance. And you see that fence over there, more or less, or up there is where they walk up the stairs to come into US, and it was with the bag, so that's when we switched hands.
Man. Oh, I'm sure those days when it was super hot in Laredo, which is most of the time, carrying those bags was probably not a fun experience.
Oh, no, it wasn't. That's what your dad said. We must figure a way to there must be an easier way to do this. I said, okay, Joe.
Over and over again, so many people have said,
Tio Pancho graduated from this high school here.
oh, is that so?
San Agustin High School. The Catholic high school.
And so Tio Pancho would have been here for a total of 4 years? It was high school?
Actually, no, it was from the 1st to the 12th grade.
Oh, wow. So he spent a lot of time here.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal how these structures are still up and alive.
Yeah, really.
They knew how to build back in the day. So over and over again, people have said, your father was so quiet, he was so reserved. Why do you think he had that personal style? Do you think he was shy? Do you think he was just an active listener? Any perspectives on that, Theo?
I guess it's just his personality, you know. He had a tough life, you know. But obviously he knew how to handle money, because, you know, what little he had, you know, we never lacked the basics.
Yep.
So you wanted something? Go work.
Yeah.
So your dad and I came to sell newspapers.
Oh, that's right, because your father, you had asked your father for money for jeans, and he said, go make it yourself.
That's right. And I'll show you where we used to go get the newspapers. And then your dad, when he was I told you he was a proofreader, you know?
Yes.
When he was in the junior, senior years in high school. He worked part-time with the newspaper as a proofreader. They said the guys, editorial staff, and the reporters are great guys, but they can't spell, you know?
And who would have thought this humble boy from Laredo, from the Azteca zone, would be proofreading articles that thousands were reading?
To meet with my girlfriend here.
Oh.
This Plaza Theater. I said, we'll see you inside. I'll see you inside.
Super. That's amazing. It's been preserved.
Yeah.
It's still here. It's not a Marriott hotel or something. So what has happened to downtown Laredo? I see a lot of store closures, but I also see some of the regular...
Well, the malls, you know.
Okay.
Now all they have here is just a bunch of Chinese, Koreans. They have stores here.
Oh my God, this was the Woolworth store. Yeah. Oh my Lord. My mom and I and my brother, I would buy baseball cards here.
Your mom used to work at the McClellan's here.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah.
So was she a sales girl, as they say?
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating. I wonder, was she successful selling?
Oh, yeah. She had a personality, and so did my sister Lucy, who worked at the store here.
Oh, is that so? One of the great parts of this archaeology project that I'm working on is
this is where I grew up, at Joe Brand's store.
Oh my Lord, this is it. Wow.
It was the most exclusive store in South Texas. Men's store in South Texas.
And you were fitting bankers, lawyers, all the top people.
Oh, yeah.
That's mind-boggling. Everything is so close together here in Laredo, right?
Yeah, and this is the bus station now, but it used to be a bunch of little stores here.
Okay.
And at the end was a Walgreens drugstore. We used to go buy ice cream and stuff.
Man. So, yeah, I now remember all of these areas. What was the best experience working at Joe Brand in terms of a contact with a client or something else? Was there a funny experience that you went through?
Learning retail more than anything else. And learning clothes, and I was a clothes freak, still am.
Now, your sense of style early on, and even now, but back in the day, in the 50s, you had style and swagger. Where did you pick that up from?
Joe Brand.
Joe Brand, what? There you go. You work for Neiman Marcus, you're going to dress like a Neiman Marcus person.
I wore, I remember Mr. Brand, gave me a Hickey Freeman suit that he used to wear. And he would change suits every year or a couple of years. And he gave it to me, and the tailors that there at the store fixed it for me, And it was double-breasted. No, not the $350 at the time, which was like $1,000 now or more.
That must have been a thrill when you took that home. I'm sure your parents said, "What?"
Yeah, and the newspaper office was right in between this place and the hotel there. The newspaper office. So we used to get the newspapers and hurry down the street and sell them.
Incredible. So what was the cost basis of each newspaper, and how much would you make off each one?
We made 2 cents on each paper we sold.
2 cents?
We sold them for a nickel. But there was a couple of people that used to give us a quarter.
Nice.
Like Mr. Watson over there at Richter's department store.
Do you think downtown Laredo will ever have a second life?
No.
No. It just seems like it has struggled over the decades.
Oh yeah, and this used to be the old Western auto store right here, and it converted into something else, restaurant or something.
Theo, if it's possible, can we drive towards the old house where my father, my mother, and I used to live? Because I think there's like an open lot, and I don't mind if you just park there, and I'll just walk down the street, because obviously there's no parking on Matamoros Street, but I thought I would love to get some footage of that.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you. How's Tia Nena these days? You all right?
Oh, yeah. She had the flu. She's recovering.
Oh, my Lord. Send her my best.
Yeah.
And thanks again for this morning.
But it goes back to the saying, marry someone you like. We get along really well.
And you're going on how many years of marriage?
36, 37 years.
Super. So what advice would you give to people who are already married? You have these young couples and they have challenges and issues. What advice would you give to them?
Well, the key is getting along. I mean, women are women and men are men, and there'll always be issues, but you have to learn to live around the issues.
Yeah. And what have you learned, Theo, about the ups and downs of life in terms of tragedies that happen, and how does one deal with sad moments of grief?
Well, faith. I mean, growing up, you knew your parents would eventually die. I mean, they're older. And but you didn't expect the son to die. It was really tragic for me when Marco passed away.
And Theo, that was how many years ago?
10 years.
10 years.
It'll be 10 years in March.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Let me go walk over there, and I will be right back.
Take your time, my friend.
So this is 505 Matamoros. This is where my parents, Carlos and I, lived for a few years, and we would walk downtown to Woolworths, but this is the house. Amazing memories, beautiful facility, building. We were surrounded by noise. This is the main bedroom, and all of our homes have always been by busy streets. Lakefield Street, Carlton Road. Always lots of noise, hustle, bustle, and grind. This is old Laredo, and it's amazing to think I am part of that history. So is Carlos. Wow, what a trip down memory lane.
Yeah, right?
Totally. That's one of the things that I wanted to ask you about, Theo, is the faith of our grandparents. Were they active in the Catholic Church? Were they active in church activities?
My father hated the Catholic Church.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why, but there was no love lost. And my mother really, once in a while, she'd go to church. But, she used to pray a lot, She read the Bible a lot. My father didn't read the Bible, didn't do anything. But he was a good man, honest.
Who would have thought we lived at the intersection of San Francisco and Matamoros?
Yeah. And I'll show you where we used to wait for the bus here to go to Lamar. Right this corner right here. And one time there was an accident right here,
Oh, yeah?
And the police came. And I was my brother and I were standing there, and I saw the guy get down from the car and throw a beer bottle in that. It was a vacant lot across the street. Wow. So the policeman came and said, "Hey, Mr. Policeman, the man threw a beer bottle." The guy could have killed me with his eyes. And my brother Joe reminded me of that. Remember when I told him that? It's a beer bottle.
Another characteristic that I've come to love and appreciate is the Solis humor. Sometimes it can be sarcastic, sometimes it can be very witty. Where did that come from? Was it Grandma Solis?
My father.
Your father?
Yeah.
So was he good at one-liners, or did he just have that style, estilo?
Yeah, he just had that style, you know. He loved to tell stories, you know. We used to walk all the way over here to go to Morton High School. And I'll show you where we used to wait for rides, you know. We'd hitch rides.
What's one of the biggest lessons from your career in banking?
Probably, you know, I always try to help people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think being honest and use what you know to help others, you know.
Nice.
And something, hey, how can I told you, I don't know, but I told you, I don't know what I told, but a few weeks ago, or from a few months ago, this guy went by my office and to thank me because I had financed his house and he just had finished paying for it.
Wow.
It was, you know, a house in the poor section or not really very poor, but not rich section of Laredo where the bank used to be, and he was a delivery guy for the flower shop, and he asked if he could. Yeah, so I financed the house for him. Well, he looked me up to go thank me first.
That's incredible. What an impact you had on his life.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's nice that people remember and people appreciate it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because, you know, I always try to help the people any way I could, you know.
In terms of...
This is where we used to come and stand here and hitch a ride to Morton High School. Well, no, right across the street from the plaza.
Okay.
The Bruni Plaza.
Man, I haven't seen...
There was no service station. There was, I remember, what, a house or something. And we used to stand there. Even though it's a few blocks, but, you know, 10 blocks or 12 blocks take this toll, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In reference to political leanings, political views, my grandparents, did they have any type of viewpoints that stand out after all these years?
No. My father was more involved in Mexico politics than politics here, you know.
Oh, fascinating.
I mean, of course, but they love President Kennedy, you know.
Okay.
Both of them.
So even though Grandfather Solis came here at the age of 5, his interest in Mexico and culture, how would that play out? Would you all ever go to Monterrey, or would you visit maybe distant cousins and family members? Was there ever a Mexico connection?
Well, you know, now with my dad, but with my mom, you know, we went to Candela where she was born.
Okay.
And the family that we visited lived right across the street from the public registry.
Okay.
So the man said, you know, I know the public registry over here. I know the man in charge. You want to find out about your family, about your mother's family? Yeah. So he showed me the birth certificate, and no, we're very, very interested.
Fantastic. So, for sake of context, where is Canela along the border? Is it a border town, city?
Candela, no.
Okay.
No, it's there's a highway to Candela. Anything else you'd like to see?
Martin High School?
Martin High School?
Yes. I think
I didn't show you.
now Martin High School would be on the right side of 35?
Yeah, on the west side.
Okay. Yeah, I think that would be one treat. And again, thank you for taking time this morning to show me these wonderful treasures. So that original house where you all were born, what was the name of that street by the creek?
San Pablo.
San Pablo.
San Pablo. And I was the only one born in the hospital.
Oh my Lord. So my father was literally born in that house.
Yeah.
Incredible. Well, I hope you received the invitation. Well, I know you did. To my father's birthday bash. We decided it would be fun to keep his spirit alive by celebrating his birthday every year. And it's on March 16th, a Sunday. So if you and Tianena are in the area, we'd love to see you. We're going to have a few memorial announcements, including the announcement of this YouTube channel, which is a secret, which is a not real secret because so many people like you know about it. Only my mom doesn't know about it, and I suspect she probably does know because she mentioned a documentary. So we have lots of little birds that love to talk, which is which is fine with me. And so my viewpoint is keeping his memory alive, keeping these stories alive, and bringing the cousins, the grandchildren, the children together is a way of connecting us to the past, right? It's not like, oh, he's some distant uncle that I saw in a picture. No, there's going to be a Martin High School scholarship fund that my mother and brother are putting together for the valedictorian of Martin High School. So it's going to be, in my opinion, a memorial mentality where it's alive. Future students are going to benefit with scholarship dollars under his name. And what do you think my father would have thought of that?
I think he would have loved it. Absolutely. He was very modest, and he was very, but he was proud of his accomplishments. But I think we all were prouder than he was, of his accomplishments. So.
It's phenomenal to think that he studied aerospace engineering in the 60s when, supercomputers were just being developed, and there's more power in this phone that I'm holding than most of those mega mainframes by IBM back in the day.
Absolutely.
So if you didn't know math, you didn't know calculus, trigonometry, there's no way you could have succeeded like he did. And
He was brain.
Yeah. And I sometimes wonder how I did not inherit any of that. Like, I struggled through business calculus. Struggled. It was so hard. And my daughters got it because my father would mentor my daughters, but I didn't get it at all. I know my brother got it. So
yeah, brother Carlos got it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he got it hard. He got my portion too. So I'm glad he got it because it has served him well, and it continues to serve all of us very well as the years go by. John Ortiz. John R. Solis. Are we connected to that Solis in any way?
No.
Okay.
He's a good attorney.
Oh, good. So San Bernardo, right?
Uh-huh.
San Bernardo. This was a street you would take the bus to Martin High School, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Well, actually, we didn't take the bus. We used to walk to San Bernardino and then hitch a ride over here.
Oh, okay. That's right. That's right.
And this is the gymnasium, the old gymnasium. And this is the building still standing, the original building.
That's super. What magnificent history here. They've really preserved the grounds in a nice way. So all of these chairs are for the Washington.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Yeah.
I think next week, I think.
Martin High School.
Actually, this is where the parade starts, I think.
Oh, that's how. Now it'd be Monday, President's Day, right?
Monday is President's Day, and usually on a Saturday when they have the parade.
Man, oh man. Well, Theo, I wanted to thank you for doing this for me, and I hope in the future we can maybe do a sit down with some ideas that I have. But this road tour about the life and times of my father and your history too has been marvelous. And any final thoughts as we wrap up this video in Laredo?
Actually, no. But obviously, I'm a Laredo boy, and I never left Laredo. For a short while when I was recently married and lived in Arlington, but other than that, this has been my home. And I made my living here, and I really enjoy it.
Super.
And since my wife was born across the river, well, she likes it too, because she gets to go. They still have the house where she grew up, and they have it as an office for her. It's the customs broker business that they have.
Actually, I do have one more question, and that would be, for my father's 4 grandchildren, what message would you have to them on this Sunday in Laredo?
Keep his memory alive, because he was a great person, a great son, a great brother, a great father, great grandfather. So if we learn to live like he lived, I think we'd be accomplished a lot.
Beautiful. Just beautiful. Thank you, Theo.
You're very welcome. My pleasure.